Boy, I'm tryna meet your mama on a Sunday. The nigga I love on a Monday.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Nelly B. We are back at it again with another Married at First Sight video. So I told y'all in the last video that I wanted to just wait and do episodes 1 and 2 together. And my whole thinking for that would be like, oh, okay, like by then all 5 couples would be married, da-da-da. As you can see, they wanted to drag this out, you know? Like the first episode being 3 hours and for us not to see one wedding? The disrespect of our time. But anyways, I am gonna just do episode 1. I don't really have too much to say because, you know, it was really like the matchmaking special all over again. We didn't really, I mean, we learned some new information, but it wasn't like they met each other. So I'm gonna do that first and then we'll get into the weddings that we did see in the most recent episode 2. Okay? And before I forget, go ahead and drop a like and subscribe to the channel, okay? If you a Married at First Sight fan, I'm gonna be giving y'all content all season long. So let's get along for the ride, okay? Hop on the train. Okay, episode 1, we basically just got reintroduced to everybody, learned about everybody's profession, their background, why they decided to start the process, why they are on Married at First Sight, why they want to get married. We did get to see them, you know, tell the news to their friends and family. Not everybody though. They didn't show everybody telling their friends and family, and some people chose to just tell their friends and not their parents for whatever reason. That was a little different from seasons past, but I guess, I don't know, parents didn't want to be on camera, or, you know, it's a pandemic, I don't know. But yeah, everybody's friends kind of had like different reactions. Like Haley's friends were all like all up in her grill, like asking, like grilling her all these questions, and I was like, come on, y'all, I can't, this is not the first time that Haley told you that she was going on Married at First Sight, okay? Like they were going in on her, and it was kind of giving me like unsupportive vibes, but I guess at the end of the day they were just trying to make sure she was really ready. And then we saw like some people telling their parents, and it was like a really tough conversation. Like Virginia, I felt so bad for her. Her dad was like, oh, well, I mean, I guess I can catch it on TV. I'm like, dang, you don't want to even act like you gonna come to the wedding? Like, he was basically just straight to like, oh, I'll just watch it on TV. You know, spoiler alert, he does end up coming, but I was really turned off by that. I'm like, dang, like, you don't have to say it like that. Another highlight of episode 1 is we got to see like the group dynamics. So we saw them for the initial meetup, and then we saw them at their respective bachelor and bachelorette parties. Now at the first meetup with the guys, I'm glad everybody was like, yeah, Chris is weird, Chris is weird, Chris is weird. Cause I was like, yeah, like it can't just be us. Like it has to be even the people that you're in the process with are feeling the type of way about you, you know? I was just like, I didn't think that the questions he was asking was weird, but I did think he was coming off mad strong. And he was just like, do you want to have a honeymoon baby? Do you want to have this? Like, no, nobody is thinking about that, sir. You are alone, okay? So I'm glad they kind of, well, I mean, I hope he felt ridiculous after that. I hope he did. And then something else that really troubled me was that Chris was like, oh, do you guys, one of the questions he asked, he was like, oh, do you guys have anybody that you need to cut off, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, I have people that, you know, keep me companionship verbally. I'ma just send a group text. You know, I can't talk to you no more. You are about to get married. Everybody should have been cut off, like, as soon as you started this process. And again, the fact that this man has just came out of an engagement is like, is this man mature, like, to be in this process? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, that was just crazy. All right, and then we saw, you know, everybody shopping for their dresses and their tuxes, really nice, you know, standard. Only thing I really wrote down here was like Erik, okay? The man said, maybe just a little black, white, you know, maybe a little sprinkle of gold if you're feeling fancy. Like, he wanted everything to be by the book. Whereas the other husbands, they're getting blue, they're getting green. Like, he didn't even want to test the waters with his suit color. And then you got Virginia over here who's just like out there and just like wild girl. I'm just like, yeah, it's not gonna work. Like, it's not. He's too, I don't want to say a stick in the mud, but he's like, he seems like a very like rule follower type of person. Very traditional, and he said that, very traditional, conservative, southern gentleman type of guy. And I like that. Like, I like him as a person, but I'm just like, I don't think it's gonna mesh well with your soon-to-be wife, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. So yeah, then we went to the bachelor and the bachelorette parties, and that was pretty nice. I mean, again, with Erik, he's like, I mean, I hope she's not out here hammering shots whole time sis is in the bathroom throwing up. Like, it's like, little do you know what you're in for, you know? And I'm just, again, it's the expert's fault, but it is what it is. Then Vincent really disappointed me, because I could tell, I mean, they were really trying to play him and portray him as the good guy and just like, you know, got his stuff together. Like, he's kind of like Chris, but a more put together like Chris. Like, he still wants to be a family, you know, guy, but like, it seems like he is just more laid back and chill. But I can tell he got some player in him, because the way he was chatting it up with the stripper, like, no. And then the fact that he was like, Vincent's friend was like, oh, like, my homeboy want to talk to you. Like, your homeboy is getting married tomorrow morning, okay? You can't be doing that. And you had to, and then he's like, oh, they're gonna judge me for this. Like, yeah, like, look at how you look. You don't need to be doing this. Like, I mean, I get it, you know, strippers are part of the bachelor experience, but like, he was like flirting. Like, he was saying things like, oh, I would be happy if it was you I was getting married to tomorrow, all this type of stuff. It's like, when Brianna watches that back, how's she gonna feel? Like, you got to think about that, you know? It's not like you're on TV. Like, if you were just saying that between your boys, I guess nobody would ever know. But you're on TV, so let's try to be conscious of that. But again, I still like Vincent. It's player vibes, but it's the calm, cool, collected player versus Chris that's just all over the place, you know? So yeah. Okay, so that was basically episode 1. I mean, they tried to tease us with Clara and Ryan's wedding at the end, but that was basically the next episode. So episode 2. So yeah, Clara and Ryan were the first people to get married, and it was really nice. Ryan, he went, you know, he wrote her a nice letter. He gave her a speaker, made her some type of like playlist. And I was like, okay, this is giving insight into more of who you are and stuff. Cause, you know, I feel like we as viewers haven't really seen much of his personality. Like, he just seems very cut and dry. So I was like, okay, that's nice. He's into music, things like that. And then he wanted to have that nice moment with her, where like they were both blindfolded and they were holding each other's hands like at the altar. It was a nice gesture, even though it seemed like homegirl did not appreciate that. But I get it. Like, she seemed very stressed, and like, it's already an added pressure of like, you know, walking down the aisle. You're walking to a stranger, then you're gonna make me do it blindfolded. Like, you know, in hindsight, he probably should have thought about that, but I think it was cute. Yeah, then, so after the wedding, ceremonies are good and, you know, great. The vows were nice, everything is cool. After the wedding, they are sharing their glass of champagne, getting to know one another. And he's like, what did you ask for, you know, in the experts and stuff? And she says no insecurities. Well, she says something else, but she's like, no insecurities is one of them. And I'm like, okay, girl, like, everybody has insecurities though, you know? Like, of course, everybody has insecurities, and everybody's insecurities affect them differently at varying levels. But I'm like, you know, that's a big thing to ask for, because I'm sure you have your own. But yeah. Then he asked her, what is your biggest fear going into this process? And she says, I'm going to fall in love with you and you're not going to love me back. And I was like, dang, girl, she put it all on the table. And I mean, I can't be mad, because it seems like she lives her life unapologetically, and, you know, I'm all about that. But I was like, wow, like, within 5 minutes of meeting him, you're just going to you know, put yourself out there like that. Like, I felt like that kind of showed, like, it kind of showed her, like, maybe not her insecurities, but it kind of showed her dating past, because it seemed like she just really hasn't had any luck. Really, you know, she was talking about how, you know, guys have played her and things like that. And I'm like, dang, you just, like, right off the bat, you're gonna let him know that you like that has happened to you before. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that was the best thing I would have said. However, okay, watching this back, I was like, maybe this could be a little unclear, so I wanted to clarify it. I just feel like the first thing Clara is letting her husband know is like, you're scared of, or you've been the subject of, like, unrequited love, one-sided love. And it's like, maybe let him get to know you first, because I feel like that's like, you automatically kind of scared him. Like, if you saw his face, the man was shook. Like, he was like, well, dang, like, you know. And it's kind of like, well, why haven't people wanted you, blah blah. I mean, again, she's probably just being honest, and like, if that's your fear, that's your fear. But I'm just like, maybe let him get to know you first. So yeah, she seems very forward. And then she was like, I asked for confidence, and I can tell you have that. I'm not getting that confident vibe from Ryan at all. Like, he seems way more shy than her. But again, she's like bouncing off the wall. So maybe he is really confident, and it's just being dimmed down because she's like overtaking everything. But yeah, so that was nice. They were both physically attracted to one another. Actually, he didn't really say too much about her. He didn't really say too much about her looks, but she was very like, oh, I'm attracted to you and stuff. So I don't know. I think he did compliment her, but it wasn't like, he wasn't raving and woo, and you know, he didn't seem too excited about it. So yeah. All right. So next wedding, Virginia and Erik. Now, I told myself I was not going to speak about people's appearance on this show because I just feel like that's not cool. That's not fair. Like, that's tacky. But this makeup, though, Virginia was wearing, this purple eyeshadow, like, it was not it. Like, it was not it. But I think also, like, it looked worse as the time continued because she just was the girl was bouncing off the walls. Like, it was borderline erratic. Like, she looked like she was sick. Like, she was crying. She just was, like, going through a lot of emotions. So I think that made her face just look even more red and flushed and everything. So, yeah, because it did kind of look cute after it was first applied, you know? At this point, like, I'm beginning to think the girl is an alcoholic. Like, she needs a drink. She's, like, always like, let's take a shot. I need some wine. I need this. I'm like, girl, let's try to live in the moment. Don't you want to, like, at least try to remember, like, your wedding day? I don't know. Again, it's probably just nerves and shock and everything. And people cope with that in all different ways. But I was like, it was like she was erratic. Like, the girl was bouncing off the walls. And I was like, girl, relax. And she was laughing, and she has a cute laugh. She's laughing with like her whole body and her whole face, but it was kind of excessive to me. It was excessive. Behind the scenes with Erik, we found out that he basically said this is his first wedding. Like, even though he's been married before, he said, so, you know, he got married. It was more like a document, like, so she could come stay with me military wise. So I was like, oh, wow. Okay. So, but it kind of showed me like, okay, he really is serious. He really wants this to work out. He doesn't want another, you know, failed divorce and stuff. So that was kind of interesting to learn. Erik's mom, the words that she said to him before he walked down the aisle, she said, make sure you tell her how you feel. Don't keep it to yourself like you usually do. Red flag, red flag, red flag. Like, if you're not a good communicator, and then in the vows, whoever wrote whoever wrote the speech to introduce the other person to the person, y'all know what I'm talking about. He said, Erik's friends and family said, not the best communicator with his feelings, but actions speak louder than words. Again, like, if you can't communicate, you on the wrong show. Because, and even as the wedding went on, I don't know if y'all could tell, his face was saying one thing and his words were saying another thing. Like, after the wedding, this girl goes straight to the bar. his parents are right there. You could tell the parents want to like meet her, want to get introduced to her. You could tell he wants her to meet them. She's like, I need a drink. I need a drink. She goes straight to the bar. I'm like, girl, first of all, read the room. Go meet your new in-laws. Number two, why don't you say, oh, like before you go get a drink, like come meet my parents and stuff like that, you know, because I could tell she's just a ball of nervous energy, and he needed to like be that person to be like, okay, come meet my parents. But you could tell he just looked like, dang, is she not gonna meet them? Like, I don't know. It was like, speak up. You're gonna have to learn how to speak up because you're meeting a stranger. Like, it's gonna require an extra level of communication. And I don't know, like, the fact that his family already said he's not good at communicating, it's looking like a yike. On the other hand, he seemed pleased with how she looked. She seemed like they both seemed like they were attracted to one another. He said she was gorgeous. He said he would definitely, like, you know, walk up to her, you know, and do a double take or a triple take or whatever he said. So that's good. I don't know, you know, if that's gonna carry them throughout the season, but we'll see. I felt like she was a little forward with like kissing him and all this stuff, and then finally at the reception I'm like, okay, I see Erik kissed her first, like one time, but before she was just like all up on him, like, and I get it, she was like, this is my husband, I should be able to be touchy-feely, do what I want. Like, yeah, you should, that's your man, you right, but like, I don't know. It was just a lot. It was giving me Amber and Matt vibes. Do y'all remember that? Like, the way Amber was kissing out Matt every 5 minutes? Like, oh, child. So, anyways. Yeah. So, Erik and Virginia. Another thing that was kind of like, I don't know. His face was like a little bit, I guess he was shocked, or I don't know what it was. He's, you know, clearly like Southern, traditional, conservative type of person. Virginia's out here saying her sister is gay. She got 2 nephews that were artificially inseminated and stuff. And he's like, I don't judge. Like, people can live their life the way they want to live. But his face did not show that. But I'm one to like, okay, if you say that, I got to take what you say for face value. But for the fact that your family have already foreshadowed you as a bad communicator, and obviously he was just stunned. He's not going to be like, oh, I don't agree with my wife's values the first day I meet her. But I don't know, he was like really taken aback, and he was like, I don't judge, but his face said like he was judging her a little bit. I don't know, maybe I'm just reading too much into the facial expressions, but again, I mean, it's a lot. You just met her. But yeah, I'm wondering how their views are gonna change. He already said, like, it's looking like she goes out more than me. I'm like, yeah, bro, you don't even know the half of it, of how much she goes out. So, yeah. Okay, our final wedding, Brincent. Oh, okay. No, that's not it. Brincent? Is that cute for them? Briana and Vincent? Okay, I don't know. Anyways. Vincent and Briana, final wedding. I thought their wedding was so cute. Like, his suit was the best suit. I know Chris was like, oh, I want to be the best dressed in Married at First Sight history. No, Vincent, that green, that looks really good on him. And I think her wedding was so nice, but I guess I have to see the other ones to see, but like her wedding, like the decorations, the pink and the green, I'm like, it's giving me AKA vibes. I don't know, but yeah. But yeah, so her mom was like, Brianna's mom was like, I'm surprised she's not being a bridezilla, blah, blah, blah. And she herself, you know, and her friends have shared that she's stubborn and stuff. Again, my concern for Briana is that she's going to be too rigid for this. And even in the vows that her parents or her family wrote, I keep calling them vows, in the little introductory speech that the parents wrote to give insight to Vincent about who he was getting married to, they kept on reiterating the word bossy. And it was funny the first time, but then I'm like, it's not cute. Like, it's not cute. Like, being bossy is cute when you're in 3rd grade. Like, you know, when you're trying to be a leader. Like, no, right now, you want to be you still want to let him know who's in charge, but you also like want to be willing to compromise. So again, I just hope she's willing to do that. Let's see. Oh my gosh, her makeup looked really good. I think her hair and her makeup looked the best out of all of them, again, that we've seen so far. Right before the wedding though, Briana was like, in the past, like the physical has been more important to her than the compatibility, and she doesn't know what she's gonna do if she's not attracted to him. Again, I don't like to hear those types of comments because you are signing up for Married at First Sight. Like, but luckily both of them were vibing with each other really, really well. He said that she's just my type. She's beautiful, petite, nice features. And I was like, oh really? Because you could have fooled me, because I thought the stripper was your type, because the stripper don't look nothing like Briana. So I was like, okay, I'm glad he's attracted to her, because I'm always worried about that, because I'm like, it's just so like hit or miss, like you really never know. And then she was like, he's fine, he got a beard, so that was good. Vincent said, you know, his biggest fear is that she won't accept me for who I am. I just hope that like he is not afraid to be himself, and that he actually opens up and lets her see him for who he is, and not, you know, hide. Because if you have that fear, you can tend to like overcompensate and try to only show the good parts of you. But you know, it's like, y'all are getting married. This is the good, bad, the ugly at this point. But his vows, they were so sweet. I think like they were just so sweet. Like he really about his business. Like I really like Vincent. I really do. Yeah. I think that they had a really nice vibe. I think they had like really nice chemistry. She was even saying how she liked how they were holding hands, like instead of like this, she was doing like, you know, he held her hands like this. So that's cute. I think, you know, I was weary about their matching, but it's looking like it's gonna be a good one. So we'll see. The chemistry is definitely there. They're flirting, they vibing. At the end of the wedding, at the end of the episode, we saw a sneak peek to Paige and Chris's wedding. Well, okay, let me start with the positive. Chris got her a nice infinity necklace. Paige got an infinity tattoo. She's been saying this is fate. It is written the whole time. So I'm glad for her, you know, because when you're jumping into something as wild and crazy like this, you want to be like, oh, I need a sign. I need this. And if that's the sign she needed, I'm glad she got that confirmation. And it was really nice, a really nice necklace. It was super sweet. Chris, I'm just even more convinced that the man is a joke, because I'm listening to his daddy. His daddy's like, oh, I just can't wait to meet my daughter-in-law. And then he even says like, if she's ugly or like da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, this is where he gets this superficial vibe from, this shallowness. Okay, like it makes sense now. So I wasn't pleased to hear that. And then the sneak peek that they did show, he was like cursing. He was like, he saw her and then he like turned his head. So I don't know if that's supposed to be like he's not attracted to her. I don't know. I really hope he don't, because he seems to put his foot in his mouth a lot, just always talking and just saying strange stuff. And I'm just like, I really hope he doesn't say anything to disrespect her, because at the end of the day, what you're not finna do is disrespect anybody. So yeah. Anyway, so that was the first 3 weddings. We're gonna see Paige and Chris and Haley and Jacob get married next time. Again, as always, if you've made it this far, thanks for watching. I appreciate y'all. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. Which wedding was your favorite? What are y'all getting from the initial meetups? How y'all feeling? What do y'all think? Let's start a dialogue. Y'all know I love to talk in the comments and I respond to every single one. So let's chat it up, and I will see y'all next week for episode 3. Bye. Y'all have a good week.